Hey everyone, welcome to the Airsoft King channel. What I do basically, if you are new to watching this video and new to viewing my channel, I would like to welcome you guys. Basically what I do is I just talk about anything airsoft related. I do airsoft reviews, airsoft shooting demos, and anything else that's typically airsoft related you're going to find on my channel. For those of you that have already been subscribed to my channel and are somewhat familiar with my content, welcome as well. Today, what we are going to be talking about is the top three most used GBB pistols, or just pistols in general. I'll kind of cover different variants as well, but for the most part, the top three that are most used in the field, most used that I've seen personally. You as well, I'm sure, have seen this grouping of pistols used pretty frequently in games, scrimmages, you name it. It's definitely ones you've heard of, you've seen, you've had, currently have. I have all three, obviously, to share with you guys, but I'm going to be just talking about a little bit of that and why the popularity factor exists between the three. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. So the three that we're going to be talking about are the M9 Beretta, the Glock 17, and of course the 1911s. And again, these three are the most used. I have pretty simple, just original models that you really just saw there. There is of course tactical versions of these, like with rails and stuff, attachments, so on, more tactical look to it. I'm kind of just sticking with, everything's old school, plain iron sights, plain slide, no fancy rails, no over, just extreme on, attachments. This kind of goes for the original, for the super modified, and I guess in between. So I'll talk a little bit more about each one of these. So we'll go ahead and dive into the M9 Beretta. The one you have in front of you that you're seeing is going to be by the KJW brand. This one is a gas blowback and also capable of firing CO2 as well, as it does have the upgraded nozzle. I will include each individual review for these, just so you guys kind of have an idea of how each one functions, what are the pros and cons, and so on. So this is one that you will typically find on most airsoft fields. Typically it is just going to be the standard version, not a whole lot of tacticalness to it. There's many different variants. There's the full auto version, there's ones that have the really beefy rail to it, there's ones that have special type of sights, ones that are CO2 only, ones that are green gas only. But the fact is, you'll definitely see one of these that resemble an M9 of some sort. So this is definitely one that you will see. Main reason why is, of course, the affordable factor in this. They're not too expensive. Bottom line for the cheapest, probably $100 or so. Of course, if you try to go for the higher end models, full auto, extra attachment, and so on, of course the price is going to keep going up. But again, it's just plain and simple. It's got a nice weight to it. It fires very effective, very efficient on the gas, very nice rate of power to it. And I mean, if you go with KJW, you have like a 2-in-1, green gas and CO2. It's perfect for hot and cold weather. Everything's easily adjustable for the hop up, and a lot of the magazines are kind of cross-compatible with each other. So that really, just sums it up why a lot of people would be really interested in having the M9 Beretta as a sidearm for their loadout. So I will go ahead and sum it up for this one and kind of move on to the next sidearm for you guys. Next, we have the all-famous Glock 17 or Glock pistol. In general, this one has a lot of popularity based off of course, it's a very interesting design, very popular design. A lot of players definitely choose to go for this one, as it also has multiple features that you can really add on to once you buy just a regular stock version of it. So in front of what you guys are seeing is the stock version. It already comes with a stock rail that's already with, molded with the lower frame, so you don't really need to have any extra parts to, create a frame and then hang something on. Same thing with the sights. You can definitely change those out. You can put, more higher end optic sight if you choose to do so. And another thing that really attracts people to having a Glock for a sidearm is the rarity factor. And again, I'm mentioning this is for mainly the US players, as these are much harder to come about as opposed to if you live in Europe or Asia or anywhere else other than the United States. So the rarity kind of comes into play of why people would prefer to have the Airsoft Glock as their sidearm. In terms of weight, it's very light, as it is a mixture of two different materials, plastic and metal. So you have a nice weight there, of course, with the magazine still, giving you some weight, but without the magazine, it's definitely light. So it's not something that's super bulky, but when you have the magazine in there, it'll give you some of that weight to really kind of get you interested, if you're looking for that heavyweight feeling. And overall very useful with different types of magazines, very compatible with like Tokyo Marui, with KJW. So mags are definitely anywhere that you need them to be. You can also upgrade to the extended magazine for this. You can easily upgrade anything internal on here if need be. You can easily adjust the hop up. Field stripping is very simple. This is a very, very simple gun, and again, with cost, these things can go as low as like $70, all day. If you go just for the G17, that's definitely going to be the most affordable. So again, that's another reason why this tends to attract a lot of players with having this as their sidearm. So that's what I have for the Glock 17. We'll move on now to the 1911. Alrighty, so the all-famous 1911. So the one you're seeing in front of you right now, this is going to be the one by KWA. This is the M1911A1. So this is really the World War II replica that they tried imitating here. So again, with KWA, it's definitely the more higher end type of 1911. There are ones that are much more price friendly. With this one, typically you'll find it for about $150 or so. So again, you're going to be paying for the quality. So this, I would say, would be more towards advanced airsoft players. But again, you don't have to be advanced to have a 1911. They have plenty of affordable models. I would say WeTech for even like $90 to $100, or KWC somewhere around $100. So again, that's just the one I happen to have in front of me now. But there's many variants that are much more affordable, and again, much more tactical as well. Each one of these pistols has their own tactical brother, which of course the 1911 is another popular one that can have many tactical options to make it really look aggressive and really, feel to your needs, of your sidearm. It's your sidearm, so you need to make sure that it performs, how you want it to perform. A couple things here, magazine, it's lighter, it's very thin. So the thing with the 1911, it has some pretty hefty weight to it, and the magazine is really not too heavy, so it doesn't really make the gun like overbearing in weight. It's just a nice feel to it, and it's perfect for a lot of players. The thing to know with KWA, the materials that they use is like an aluminum material, so it's definitely lightweight, and it's definitely durable. With KWA, as you guys know, it's a very quality brand, so you'll definitely, you're paying for that quality. But again, they make many different types that are much more affordable and still pretty good quality. Again, I would use WeTech as a good example. They're definitely really good with their 1911s, as I've personally had one in the past, and it's just excellent. Same with field stripping. It's very simple. It's as simple as as any other 1911s field stripping videos. If you've seen them, it's it's all the same. They don't make a whole lot of changes. It just makes it a simple gun. The function of it's always very smooth with these pistols from my experience. It's very easy to make any, adjustments in your hop up. The gas consumption it's, I would say, mediocre. I would say the two before this one are definitely a little bit better in gas consumption. Again, it's going to be a little less because the magazine is smaller, but with 1911s, I've typically seen a lot of players run, several magazines on them, for this particular thing. But even that, you can still get about, a mag and a half out of it, no problem on green gas. But definitely very cool pistol, very popular. This one's definitely, I would say, maybe the number one out of the three. And then, the Glock and the M9 are definitely tying somewhere for second, but this one's definitely the most popular that you'll see. And again, this really varies. There's a lot of players that choose, multiple ranges of sidearms. These three are just happen to be the most popular. So just kind of summing everything up, I named off the top three, most affordable, easy to use, best efficiency, and comfortability. That's the other thing. Many options for upgrades, improvements, attachments, you name it. These all have just a lot of potential to make any changes that you like. There's definitely other players who choose to run the more unique sidearms. If we get into like the FNX 45, the CZ 75. Some guys do the World War II pistols as their sidearms, like the Lugers, the Takarovs, the Makarov. Anything, those are definitely the more unique ones you don't really see too often. I myself don't see that too often, but, I've seen it. You all have at one point. But, typically the three that you just witnessed, you will definitely see on an airsoft field, again, for one of the many reasons that I